Alright, hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Casey, and today I'm doing kind of a different video. Usually I do tarot pick-a-card readings, but today I actually want to teach you guys how I do, a mind, body, and spirit wellness check-in, basically, for myself. And I do this using my chakras. You don't necessarily need to believe in chakras as like a physical part of your being. I like to think of them more as like different aspects of myself, basically just checking in with each one. The way that somebody might check in with like, how's my work-life balance? How is my social balance? How is, that's the different parts of yourself that you're basically looking at. So today I'm going to explain to you two different methods that I do this. The first has to do with meditation or journaling. This is going to be for those of you that are feeling more in tune with yourself, you understand your emotions, you don't feel confused about them, so you can actually ask yourself about them and know how they're doing. It's just a way to focus in on those different areas. And the other way is using the tarot or oracle decks. Now that's going to be for those of you who maybe you're not super in tune with your emotions, you don't actually know how they're doing, maybe you're dealing with a lot of brain fog and you're like, I don't even know where to start. That's where you would use a secondary tool. And I have a few different tools that I'll talk to you about, a few different decks. Some are more specific, others like you would read from a guidebook. So you don't actually need to know how to do tarot or how to use oracle cards, because they basically are just little books that you read from and cards that you can choose. So super beginner friendly, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start off with the meditation portion. If you want to just look at the divination portion, you can skip to the second half of the video. I'll leave timestamps so you can quickly do that, but let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so starting off with the meditation portion. This is something that you can do anywhere. You don't need to set aside, a specific time. Like, for instance, I was at the beach yesterday with my friends. They went in the water and I stayed out, and I just decided to sit with myself, meditate for a minute, and do this check-in real fast. So it's something you can literally do anywhere. Do however it feels best to you. Maybe you like to be in a silent environment, maybe you like to be very calm for a while, or maybe you can be in, sitting on the side of a busy street and just tick off each chakra really fast and check in with them. But the way that I do this, and I'll go ahead and go over the chakras in case that you don't know them, is I'll sit down, I'll, quiet myself for a minute, I'll calm down, focus on my breathing, and then I start with my crown chakra going down. And like I said, you don't necessarily need to believe in physical chakras, they're just different aspects of you. So, starting off with the crown chakra, this is your connection to spirit. This is your connection to your religion, your connection to your guardian angels, or your spirit guides, or your higher self. Whatever it is that you believe in, you ask yourself, am I feeling very in tune with this? Do I feel like I'm going with the flow of things? Do I feel a good connection to my guides? Do I feel love for the universe? Do I feel like I have a strong connection to my religion, essentially? If maybe you're feeling like untrustworthy, maybe things have been going wrong in your life and you don't realize that you're starting to spite the universe, that might start to make your connection to spirit lessen. It might start to make things feel wrong. You might start to, like I said, resent spirit. So that's a good time to check in with, how is your religious belief going? How's your spiritual belief going? Do you feel a strong connection to it? Are you happy with it? Really check in with it, because it is important to be at peace with it. Sometimes we can feel resentful, we can feel a lack of trust, and that can sometimes pour into a lack of trust in ourselves, a lack of trust in our spirit guides, or a lack of trust in what our purpose is in this life. And when you start feeling that, things can start to go sideways. So you want to make sure that you're just feeling positively about that. And it's different for everyone. You don't need to subscribe to any particular religion. It's just you and your personal beliefs. How are you feeling about that? Next is your third eye. So this is your intuition, or some people like to think of it as their gut feeling. So you'll ask yourself, has my intuition been flowing well? Have I been trusting my gut? Have I been listening to it? Do I feel like it's, I'm really in tune with it? Do I understand it? Am I hearing it properly? Or does it feel really blocked? Am I not sure about certain things? Am I second guessing constantly? You really explore that and ask yourself, what can I do to better train my intuition, to better trust it, or to be able to listen to it more clearly? And you can, if you're feeling especially blocked and you don't know how to trust your intuition or where to even start, You could look online, look at ways on, there are different ways to build up a stronger intuition, different practices that you can do, almost like studying. You can study how to have a stronger intuition. So that is your third eye. Then there's your throat chakra. And this has to do with, things left unsaid or words that are, weighing heavy on us that we want to get out. The throat chakra doesn't understand, if there's a valid reason that you're keeping secrets. Maybe there is a very valid reason that you're not saying something, that you're keeping something hidden. Even though your mind knows that, we can't let this thing get out, all your throat chakra feels is blocked. Are there certain things that you want to communicate with your friends and family but you haven't said? Are there things that you want to say to your boss but you're keeping inside because maybe you feel like you shouldn't say them? Those are all things that, even if there's a valid reason that you're keeping it in, your throat chakra can feel blocked if you don't say them. So your throat chakra is all about laying everything out, saying what's on your mind. It wants to be expressed. It wants you to express your true, honest self. So ask yourself, are there things about myself that I'm hiding right now? Are there things that I want to get off my chest or communicate with people? Really explore that and ask yourself, is it worth keeping this thing inside, if it's going to keep weighing on me? Or do I want to try and communicate this thing with, my loved ones, for instance? Maybe there's something that's been bothering you and you want to get it off your chest. It could end up leading to you, bettering that relationship with that person or that group of people. So that is the throat chakra. Next is the heart chakra. I'll ask myself, how am I feeling? Am I feeling unconditional love for all the people around me? Am I feeling emotionally open, or am I feeling emotionally cold and distant? Do I have, depressive thoughts? Are there things weighing on me? I'll really explore that one because this one can be a lot deeper and it can be a lot more complicated, Really ask yourself, are there things that are weighing on my heart right now? Are there things that feel like they're holding me back emotionally or making me spiteful or making me unhappy? Or on the flip side, am I feeling like a lot of openness, a lot of empathy? Am I feeling a lot of compassion for those around me? Am I just feeling like a love for life? That is when your heart chakra is doing its best, when it's feeling a love for life and an unconditional love for everyone around you. So if it's feeling blocked, practicing empathy, practicing compassion, especially for yourself and those that you care about, is going to be something that really opens up the heart chakra. So the next one is your solar plexus chakra, and this has everything to do with self-empowerment, confidence. So if you're feeling really like lacking confidence, lacking self-empowerment, you're second-guessing yourself, you're not sure if you have the ability to do certain things, it will literally make you feel like you are shrinking as a person. So you got to ask yourself, in what ways am I holding myself back? In what ways am I not believing in myself? In what ways am I not empowering myself to get things done? And if you really feel like you've been holding yourself back, your solar plexus chakra might be something that you want to look at more clearly. So there are a lot of different resources online that you can look at, like different practices that you can do to open up your self-confidence, your self-empowerment, different practices that you can do to improve your ability to trust yourself and to feel more confident in general. A big thing that holds back our self-empowerment are insecurities. So if your insecurities about your physical looks or your abilities are really sparking up, your solar plexus chakra will be the one most affected. So the next one that we have here is the sacral chakra. And the sacral chakra has everything to do with desire. This can be physical desire, this can be material desire, and the thing that blocks it most is guilt. So if you have certain desires for a new Xbox, for instance, because I just got a new Xbox, if you're feeling a strong desire for a new Xbox, but everything about you is feeling guilty, like we shouldn't have that, we don't deserve that, or, why are you going to spend your money on this if you should be saving your money, or you should be putting it towards things that you actually need. That guilt is basically counteracting your desires. And when you have guilt counteracting your desires, your sacral chakra gets all confused, it gets all muddled, and you just feel so much guilt, but also like sad because these things that you're desiring, you're not letting yourself have, so it's like a double whammy. So it could be a desire for another person, it could be a sexual desire, it could be a desire for a material thing, like I said, or a desire for more money or a better career. If there's anything that you feel is holding you back from letting yourself feel that desire or letting yourself chase after that desire, yourself is basically at odds with itself. So you have to ask yourself, is this guilt warranted? Am I allowed to desire these things that I want to desire? Really examine that, because that is one of the biggest parts of yourself that can be, like I said, at odds with itself. And when it's like that, you can feel a storm within yourself. So it's very important that you iron those things out and that you don't feel like you're at odds with yourself. And the final chakra that we have is your root chakra. So this is all about grounding. This is all about stability. This is the one most related to, our physicality. It's the one most connected to the earth. So really ask yourself, have I been feeling grounded? Am I dealing with a lot of brain fog? Do I feel in tune with my body? Am I taking care of my body's physical needs? Am I nourishing myself? Am I taking time to decompress and get reconnected to my body and back to the earth? When it's out of balance, you can literally feel like you're out of balance. You can literally feel like you have brain fog or a bad sense of time. Maybe your sleep is irregular. So it really has to do with the physical side of things. Really, it's less cerebral. So you're mostly asking, how is my body feeling? How am I physically feeling? That is the best way to check in with your root chakra. And you can do this just by asking yourself questions. Like I said, I did this recently at the beach. I just kind of sat with my eyes closed and I went through all these different parts of myself, asked myself how each one is doing and, if there was anything that I could do to better them. But if you like writing things out, you can journal it. So I only wrote down the first 3 basically, but you start off with your crown chakra and you can ask, how is it doing? And how you can improve. And if you're really into journaling, you can make this a part of your, maybe monthly journaling practice. You don't have to do this every day, but just kind of doing a check-in, ask yourself, like I said at the beginning, how's my connection to spirit? How's my intuition? Have I been saying everything that I want to say, or does it feel like there's things trapped within me that want to get out? Really run down through each one. And like I said, you can journal it, or you can just ask it to yourself. But that is the meditation practice. So now I'm going to go ahead and get into the divination practice. So go ahead and stick around if you're interested in that one. All right, now we're talking about the divination aspect. So, like I said, if you watch the meditation part, I do go over, what each chakra is, what they mean, how to check in with them. But if you're feeling more familiar with what the chakras mean, you don't need to listen to that part. And we'll just go ahead and get into how you can check in with it using tarot cards or oracle cards. So the thing that I do, how I do this, is I start off going to top to bottom, so my crown chakra down to my root chakra. For others, maybe you want to start with the root chakra. But what I do is I focus on my crown chakra. I focus on the idea of it. So for example, it has to do with my connection to spirit, my relationship with my spirituality or my religion. I'll focus on that and I'll ask myself, okay, how is the crown chakra doing? And I'll pull one card for that. And then I'll also ask, what can I do to improve it? Whether it's doing good or bad, how can I better it anyway? So I have 2 cards for each chakra, and I basically do that for each one. And it might tell me, oh, you're feeling very connected to spirit. You're doing great. I might get something like the Lover's card, for example, just a very positive card, you're feeling pretty in tune with your spirituality. And a way to improve it might be like the Ace of Wands, continue to focus on your passions, continue to focus on your desires. Let that be the compass that guides you along this journey towards your purpose. Something simple like that. Or for example, the root chakra, if I do that one and I get something bad, like the 9 of Swords, it's really suffering, a way to improve might be, something like the King of Pentacles, get back into your abundance, get back into stability, get back into, grounding. So that is what I do for each chakra. Depending on, how in-depth you want to do it, it could be a real quick thing where you just quickly cast out the cards and you're like, good, good, bad, good, good, good. And then you're like, okay, I'll focus on that one. For others, it might be a more lengthy process where you really want to dig in, use your intuition, and really feel out which, how is each one feeling on a deeper level. So do whatever you feel best, whatever feels best to you. And like I said, I have a few different examples of decks that you can use. So like I said, you don't have to be an expert tarot reader to do this. You don't even really have to have any prior knowledge of tarot reading, and that's the fantastic thing about oracle decks, is they're not super complicated. Like tarot has a very deep history and a lot of symbolism in the cards. But a great thing about oracle decks is some of them come with guidebooks, and all you have to do is read it. So I have a few different recommendations, and I'm going to start here with the Prism Oracle deck. Now this is a very simple deck. I use it in a lot of readings, and I really like it because you can see it just has keywords with very simple pictures, so it's not giving you like this super in-depth thing, but at the same time, like, you know what it's talking about. Like, this is anger. You understand what anger is. It's a very simple message, but at the same time, it's kind of perfect for doing readings and perfect for this if you want just a simple message, but you still want to be able to use your intuition a bit. You don't want it to be too specific. So that's the Prism Oracle deck. Depends on what you're looking for, of course. Then we have the Divine Feather Messenger deck. So this is going to have actual words on it. This is going to be, for those of you that, you don't want to think super hard, you don't want to like focus on your intuition, you just want to have it tell you what it's supposed to tell you. So these ones are nice because it comes with a guidebook that does have longer explanations of each one, but on the card itself, it already has words for you. So if you don't want to have to look through the guidebook to find each one, it already has the message directly on it. And, it's pretty cute. I like, the different birds or whatever. So that might be something that you're interested in. And each one has, a different message from spirit. And maybe if birds are really, spiritually significant to you, that might be something that you're interested in. So that is the Divine Feather Messenger Oracle deck. And then you have the Animal Apothecary deck. Now this one doesn't have, I guess it has one word on each one. Never mind, I take that back. It has like a short little sentence, or on some it just has one word. Pretty interesting artwork. But the thing that I love about this one is the guidebook. So this is for those of you that actually want to read a passage. You see, let's flip to like number 9, for instance. It has quite a bit to say about each one. And they're really beautiful messages on each one. So if you're looking for a deck like this where you can just read directly from a book and have these passages kind of speak to you rather than having to use your intuition, I highly recommend this one. It has a lot of great messages and can be helpful for all things, not just, chakra check-ins, but just what do I need to hear right now? And then you can read directly from the guidebook. Very low maintenance. You don't have to focus super deep on your intuition. So if that's something that you're not very good at yet, guidebooks, oracle decks, these help a ton. So that is everything that I have. I encourage you to try this out yourself, even if, like I said in the beginning, it's just a meditation or you're just pulling a few cards. It's a great way to be in tune with your body, your mind, and your spirit. And, it's great to just do a little wellness check-in here and there, kind of like spring cleaning, making sure everything's in working order. I find it's best to do this if I'm feeling really down or I'm feeling like I have a ton of brain fog or I'm just feeling really out of balance, really out of whack. I'll run through each of these chakras and then I'll narrow it down to like 2 or 3 that aren't doing well. And I'm like, okay, that is the area of myself that I need to work on. Like my heart chakra is out of whack. I need to dig deep in my emotions, maybe read some self-help books, maybe listen to some podcasts, maybe see a therapist, or if my root chakra's out of whack, spend some time in nature, spend some time grounding. It's a great way to just stay in tune with your body, especially if you have a hard time doing so. So I hope that you try this out for yourself. I hope it helps, and thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.